Today's video, I'm just gonna talk about something completely different. Many who have been on this channel know that I have three children. I have my boys and my daughter. My boys are 24 and 14, and my daughter just turned 20 in February. This is our family picture. What you guys see is not what we see. Our reality has been tampered with, and we cannot question certain things. I've learned that we can't question, and God has control of every situation. Um, so on a few videos ago, I had explained that I joined the YouTube community because I wanted to make and create memories with my loved ones. I wish that I would have had that long ago instead of having little clips here and there, which I would cherish forever. And the photos, absolutely, are great to have, but I feel like that's more frozen in time versus a video. Even though it might be old, you could still replay it and see it over and over again. It would have been better for me in this situation anyway. So socializing on this YouTube platform has helped me tremendously. Therapy wasn't helping, nothing, talking to people, it just, people that don't understand or live my reality can never really understand what I go through. And so like just socializing with people and talking and having a good conversation has helped me a lot. And I think a lot of my friends and my family, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. At first when I started YouTube, it was just like more, let me just, create my memories so we can reflect back on. And I wasn't really worried about talking with anybody. This channel is not for others' entertainment. It's just in general for us to have to reflect back on as we please whenever we want. Now I have been able to become a little bit more interactive with others, and honestly, it's not bad at all. And I appreciate it because the times that I feel like I'm getting in a depressive state of mind, I get on and I just start chatting with people, and it helps me a lot. So I'm gonna try to do this without getting emotional. Every time I talk about it, I get emotional, and it's normal. My life will never be the same. My husband's life will never be the same. Us as a family will never be the same. You guys see me laughing and smiling and always being positive, and I always will be. But just because I'm smiling doesn't mean I'm not going through something deep down, because I go through this every day of my life for the rest of my life. So typically you only see my youngest son because we do a lot of outdoor activities. My oldest son, you've seen him maybe in one or two videos so far. He keeps more to himself and he does his own thing. Then sometimes when he's home or out, then we get to, video him if he wants, because he's like a little bit more like rather not be on camera. He doesn't like it. Sometimes he does, sometimes he don't. So it's when he wants, which is understandable. My youngest son is always like with me, so you'll always see him. My husband also doesn't really like to be on camera or pictures, but it's very important to me to be able to have these memories to reflect back on, so they understand and they get it. So sometimes they will be in it. My daughter, she would always be in all my pictures, in any videos, and everything like that. But I'm gonna talk about it. I feel like I get anxiety already. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because I know that many have wondered. They never knew that I had another child because they didn't see. Even though I mentioned 3 kids, some people know the situation and others don't. And I feel like any parent that has to go through the torture that we've gone through as parents, the days that I cry and don't understand and question everything, I have to pray to God to comfort me in the times that I need, because if not, I would be in a very dark place. The parents who have to go through such a tremendous situation, especially when it comes to a child, there's not much help out there. And if anybody runs across this video and has gone through what I've gone through and needs that comfort and to always be talking about their children or whatever it takes to make them feel good, I will be here for you. And let's just jump right in it. So I know that I lost my mom in 2017, and losing a parent is horrible. I didn't know how to deal with certain situations. I lost my grandfather and my great-grandma and other loved ones who have been there for me, helped raise me, and was such a big influence in my life. And it hurt so bad to lose them. And I know that we just physically lose them, like our body is a vessel and our spirit lasts forever. I know we will all meet again in the everlasting rewards of heaven with our Heavenly Father. I'm a firm believer of that. My mom passed away in December 2017. And not even a year and a half later, our lives changed forever. I want to share with you all the pictures of my beautiful daughter, my princess forever and a day. My kids and I have a strong bond. My husband and our kids have a strong bond. Family, friends, we all have a bond with each other. I would cherish them forever and the bond that we have individually. Um, on April 29th of 2019, my husband and I were on the bed. We were doing paperwork early in the morning, around 8 in the morning, doing paperwork because we had purchased the land and we were going to have our home built. And we were going through all the paperwork to give in that day. Well, I noticed that a few of my daughter's friends, I didn't think anything of it until we started getting messages. Please call me. It's very important. So I give my number. I said, call me ASAP. The girl said, your daughter has been in an accident. I was there with her. I didn't leave her side. Everybody was there. We tried to help her until the ambulance got there. The ambulance took her to the hospital. I was in a frantic state of mind, and when I'm frantic, I cannot think at all. I asked her what happened to my daughter. All I kept on saying, what happened to my daughter? I started crying. I started trying to get dressed and everything was like in slow motion. It was horrible. Called the hospital and I asked them and they said, you know, we have family members that we know that have loved ones who worked in the hospital. So we asked them and they said, your daughter has been in an accident. We're doing our best to get the situation taken care of. And I said, okay, will she be okay? They said, well, we don't know. We'll let you talk to the doctor. The doctor said, well, ma'am, I'm sorry, but your daughter's very sick. And I said, sick? I thought she just had an accident in my mind. That's how I was. Like, I just didn't understand. I didn't grasp it. He was like, yes, and she's being heliported to this certain hospital. I knew when they said heliport to the hospital, something was really, really wrong. So I rushed to the hospital with my husband. I left my youngest with my godson. And so we rushed to the hospital. The whole time I'm crying and praying. Said, I don't feel right. Something's just not right. I don't feel right. Something's just not right. So we get to the hospital. I called my daughter's best guy friend and female friend, which are both like my adopted children. I love them so much. And they always been so good with my daughter. And my dad was able to meet us at the hospital. And it seemed like while I was walking through those doors, everything was just like, I felt so out of place. I felt something was just so wrong. But I'm like, no, she's going to be fine. We're going to get through everything. She's going to be fine. Miracles happen. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. The doctor put us into this little room. And I didn't even grasp that that little room was for those who, the patients or the person that's in the hospital is in a serious situation. So the doctors came and spoke to us and said that they're going to do everything they can to help my daughter. And I said, please do. And I asked them, is she going to be okay? They said her injuries were very bad and that they didn't know if she would be okay. So I left my husband, my daughter's best friend, and I went with my dad to the chapel and we started praying. I bought a few things for my daughter so when she woke up, she would see. I wanted her to be happy. I started seeing the social worker. He would come and ask us if we wanted anything to eat or drink. And he would always come in with his eyes all watery, red in the face. I knew something just wasn't right, but I had that faith that everything would be okay. The doctor said that they were going to do some surgeries. We stood there. She came back from surgery. The doctor said that they tried everything that they could, but they don't think that she was going to pull through. And I said, no, she's going to pull through. Miracles happen all the time. She's going to pull through. But her injuries were really bad. I said, what else can you guys do? They said, I want you, why don't you guys go see her? And I went up to the room, went through those elevators, went up to the room. I couldn't get in at first. I didn't want to see her like that. I didn't know what I was going to walk into. Something a parent should never have to go through. No loved one should ever have to go through seeing their child injured. And I went in there, finally got in. And I saw my daughter. And that image was so horrible, to see your child in that bed on life support. And the doctor's unclear if they could save her. Now, she was an organ donor. We all are. Well, I am as well. Because I feel like if you could help somebody else if you're no longer here, that's a good thing and the best thing to do. I kept on asking the doctors, keep her warm, she's gonna be okay. But when I kissed her forehead, because I didn't even want to touch her because she was so fragile, I felt the coldness, and I said, no, just keep her warm. She's cold, just keep her warm. What else can you guys do? And they said, well, there's one other thing that we could try to do, and this would definitely determine if she has any chance possible to survive. They had to make this medication. They told me to go home and rest. I had my youngest son. I wanted to make sure he was getting taken care of, fed. I don't like to leave that responsibility on no one. And since I wasn't going to be able to see her because she would be in surgery and going through these testings, they would let me know at around 11 o'clock at night. They were going to administer this medication to see where her blood was flowing. They called me at 11 o'clock and they said, sorry, we did everything we could, and oh my goodness, she didn't make it. That hurt me to the core and forever will. Because not having my daughter physically here is torture that I have to live with for the rest of my life. No matter how happy I portray myself to always be, I will always continue to try to be happy. Yes, I do have happy moments, but I wish that I was able to have them with her like we usually always did. Then the day that we had to start getting all her arrangements together, it was hitting me every day how my daughter was no longer physically here with us. Going to that funeral home was not something that I wanted to do. And then with my own daughter, thank God I had my husband and my aunt with me, my cousin, and my dad. But I had to do my daughter's hair while she was in her the funeral home. I had to do her makeup, her nails. I had to take care of my princess for the last time in person. These are things that parents should never have to go through. My mind was messed up for a long time, having to go through what I went through and what I had to see. My daughter did not suffer. She passed away instantly from her injuries. And I know some people say in time it would get better. Those are the people that would never understand unless they live the torture that those who lost their children have to go through. I understand that they say it with good intent, but with me I get a little frustrated because I would never get used to it. It would never get better. Every day it still hurts like the first time it happened. So everything was like, I feel like taken away, but God knows why. He has chosen to take them home, and I just feel like I was robbed from being a grandma, seeing my daughter get married, living her life the way she intended it to be, and knowing that I can never see those things in this life, but I know and I have faith that we will all meet again and see each other again, so that keeps me a little bit more content. My daughter's so bad. And I never understand why people have to go through what they go through, but in life, no one ever said it would be easy. This has changed me completely, and I continue to become a better version of myself each and every day. I say it all the time. And my daughter, my mom, and my loved ones are creating memories in heaven till we all meet again. And for me to try to remain sane, I always say she's at work, working a lot. She doesn't have a phone, and we'll see each other eventually. Even though I know the reality. And the torturous life without your child that you buried and loved so much. It just hurts. It cuts straight to the core. But every day I know that she would be upset if I was crying because we were so close. She didn't like me crying or getting upset or anything like that. So I try to think about, she's not here in flesh, but she's here in spirit, and if she sees me like this, she'll get upset. So I try to always keep it together, keep strong. Keeping strong is not always easy, but I thank God for my boys, my husband, my amazing friends and family who have helped me so much through this and continue to help me through this. And a lot of people feel alone, and they shouldn't feel alone. They should always have someone they can rely on to speak to, especially when they go through such a torturous moment in their lives. And just always pray for our family, because prayers are powerful. And at least I have a better personal relationship with God. I know that He has my daughter, my mom, my grandpa, my loved ones in His everlasting rewards of heaven, and we will all meet again. eventually. That's my little story of why you all don't see my daughter. I'll talk to you guys later on a better note. Stay blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.